In recent weeks, the private market has seen a handful of high-profile companies reduce their valuations, either by raising new rounds of financing at a lower price per share, or through the reappraisal of their 409A valuation. But the prices set by venture capitalists and third-party experts are just one piece of the overall valuation equation. For additional context, investors and shareholders can use Forge's data and trading platform to observe how the equity of a private company is trading in the secondary market. This data provides a real-time snapshot of how buyers are valuing a firm, which can help investors understand what they own, mark their portfolio to market, and make new investment decisions. As the calendar turns to the second half of the year and investors have had time to properly digest this new economic regime, we wanted to talk to Jennifer Phillips, Chief Growth Officer and President of Forge Markets. Jen, thanks for joining us today. What are you seeing from buyers and hearing from institutional investors as you engage with them in the current market?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. We're seeing investors being more disciplined. They're following really strict protocols around the investment committee approvals. They're also being forced to revalue their assets more frequently than they have had to do in the past. This is not just general volatility, but also the overall pullback in the public equity markets causing this. So without having line of sight into where the bottom is, investors are going to be opening up their file, if you will, and reassessing their investments more frequently. They're comparing private names to public comps, and they're coming to Forge looking for insight on a given name or a given sector about what's happening and what transactions are occurring in the private market. So we have relationships with a wide variety of institutional investors, and this has been a pretty consistent theme across all of our clients. As a result, investors are also reassessing the price at which they'd be willing to buy private stock at very frequently. When they give us a firm bid, they're also putting a tighter time parameter around that bid than we've seen in the past, as it relates to the last 2 years or so. Investors are really focused on getting the best value possible, and so this is a shift, the time parameters being tighter and tighter, and a bit of a trend as we are moving forward in the current state of the market.
So that's great perspective from investors. And what about from employee shareholders? It's been a few months now, and they may have had time to digest potentially lower prices for their stock. What are you hearing on the sell side?
Yeah, according to Barron's, Dan, there are over 300 canceled or delayed IPOs and SPACs. So if you were an employee gearing up for an IPO in the next few months, that's likely been pulled off the table. You may be looking at a best case scenario of seeing liquidity in about 18 months or so. The good news is that there are platforms like Forge that can help provide liquidity to these employees. This is also squarely on the mind and the radar of a C-level executive. We're really seeing more companies reach out to us with this in mind and seeking a partnership for more organized liquidity strategies for their employees. It might be setting up a structured partnership or just helping to find buyers for their employees who are eligible to sell stock. One thing is for certain, companies want to retain their employees. It's a tight job market, churn is very expensive, and more leaders are thinking about offering liquidity to their employees as a means of retaining top talent. It's a volatile market out there, and there's a lot to worry about, but keeping your best employees is on everyone's mind. It shouldn't be something that you're having to worry about.
Thanks for that insight, Jen. For a deeper dive on this and more, visit forgeglobal.com to read the full Q2 private market update. The private market update is built on top of the Forge data platform, and private market investors and companies can use Forge data to understand real-time trends in the secondary market. To learn more and subscribe to our updates, visit forgeglobal.com. Thanks a lot.